interwebs.
Hello. Welcome to whatever this is.
Drunken ramblings. Wow, this is really
So we're going to get one question out of the way real quick, and that's what are we drinking?
yes.
Obviously out of fancy
Which is
cup for
from-
some.
Grimdark Paw Prints. I am drinking Ryan Reynolds gin, aviation gin, and iced tea. And Mark is drinking Bedlam vodka, which has little ravens on it, and cranberry juice. Hang on, I gotta situate. Can you hold this again? It's so precarious. I'm drinking something out of that.
It definitely has... It's not as stable as it could be.
No. It was a dollar store glass, and I was like, I'm gonna be fancy.
And why not? Fancy it suits you. Careful, you're about to tip.
Oh, alright, there we go. Apparently, drink more.
I think that's the solution.
Okay, you wanna go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is from an anonymous. What's the worst date you've ever been on?
I'm going to say it's the first date I ever went on. And I know you know this story and several other people do, but for anyone curious, oh boy. So, in junior high, 8th grade, and I have been a painfully awkward nerd my whole life.
I heard.
But a girl asked me out, like asked if I wanted to date her. And I was shocked. And then I was receptive. So we talk about it. We're kids. Like, oh yeah, we're dating now. We haven't done anything. And then she invites me over to her house to hang out. Cool. So I go over to her house, and one of her friends is there. And we're basically just sitting around talking for maybe 10 minutes before she just starts making out with me. And I'm okay with this. It seems like this, hey, it's a date. That goes on for a while. We sit and make out for a while, and then she's like, I'm hungry. Do you want anything to eat? I said no. I was like, well, I'm going to go get something. I'll be right back. She goes into the kitchen. Her friend is still there, by the way, for whatever reason.
Where was she? I didn't know she had a friend there.
Yeah, just sitting in the living room.
Watching you guys make out?
Pretty much, yeah.
I guess that's where that fetish came from.
It's possible. But she comes back, sits down on the couch next to me, doesn't say anything, but then goes to kiss me. And I'm like, your breath still smells really strongly of whatever you just ate. And then she opens her mouth, and she still has a bite of pickle in her mouth, and begins to start trying to shove it into my mouth with her tongue. And we fight back and forth with it, like I'm trying to push her physically away as well as push her tongue out of my mouth with this pickle on it, until I finally get her away from me. And I'm like, nope, that's not okay. Don't like that. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Now, and that's just awful. That's not a great thing to do to somebody. And I don't... There are ways you can make feeding somebody like that sexy. Like maybe a strawberry held here and it's out of your mouth and they can bite it. Maybe your lips touch and that's sensual and whatever. There are things you can do. Shoving pickle down somebody's throat is not one of them. So yeah, that was my worst date. How about you?
Oh god, I have thought about this and thought about this. And, I haven't been on a lot of bad dates.
That's good.
I don't know. maybe this counts as a date. We'll call it this. All right. So, friend of the family. His name was Tim, and my mom had been like, "Sweetie, you don't really want to spend the rest of your life with this guy." And I was like, "He's a nice person," and mom was like, "Okay." So then of course teenage rebellion kicked in, and so we'd actually broken up. As much as you can in 8th grade. 9th grade. And I was like, no, I just don't think we're really matched and whatever, but I was still really good friends with his sister, and so I hung out at their house all the time, and at one point, we were just, like, snuggling in bed, and I was like, yeah, I really, like, I really just don't think this is gonna work between us, and, I just don't think it's gonna be good, and he's like, okay, well, do you wanna give me a blowjob? And I was, again, in 9th grade, so, like, 13?
It's probably 14, 15.
Yeah. Either way, I was a good Christian girl for that whole part. I didn't even know what a blowjob, like, really, really was. I was like, no. Like, I'm like, I don't even want to date you. Like, why would I put your dick in my mouth? And I was like, no. And, yeah. So that's the worst, what I'm considering a date that I've been on.
Fair.
Alright, which one you got?
I got 2 questions from an anonymous person. First one is, who do you text the most? And honestly, that's like, there's 4 people that I text back and forth pretty consistently. If I'm gonna go look back through my phone and count, it's going to be Tori, the Bunny Adventures, because she's in Florida, and that requires a lot of texting when you're together with someone who's out of state. So, yeah, but otherwise, if you're not here, I'm not there, you're equally as texted, and then Michelle is also...
We Marco a lot more than we text.
That's true. And then Lottie, which is Discord, not text, if we're going to get, like, fancy technical.
It says text. Would you text the most?
How do you text with boxing gloves on? The internet will get it.
How do I text the most? I'm looking. Probably my landlord? I don't text a lot. Well, no, that's not fair. I guess I text William or... We get same thing. We usually Marco or Messenger. My Aunt Kath. Because she's the only one who uses text messaging. That's definitely, yeah, no, for sure. Aunt Kath.
Well, there you go.
Alright. What is something you're obsessed with?
How much time do we have?
One thing. What's the one thing you are most obsessed with?
That's not the question.
What is something... Alright, that's fair. What is something you're obsessed with?
It varies. I will say currently, as far as like a fandom or something along those lines, I'm currently hitting Shadowrun pretty hard because I am, as ever, behind the curve when it comes to games. So I just picked up Shadowrun Dragonfall and Shadowrun Hong Kong and have been playing through those, but that makes my brain do things where I'm like, oh, you should go look up Dunkelzahn's Will again and read through that. And then you should read through like 1,700 Jackpoint posts that have been written, and just, yeah. I'm a nerd.
I'm obsessed with a great many things, but
One thing.
I mean, this is gonna come to a shock, as a shock to a lot of people, especially given my screen name. But baking.
It's a good obsession.
I'm also obsessed with like baking supplies. I have like a huge 3-tower drawer of like anything and everything you could possibly, so that when I want to bake something, I have ingredients. You know, like evaporated milk, condensed milk, corn syrup. You know what I mean? Just like random baking ingredients.
Powdered milk for more milk per milk.
I can honestly say I do not have any powdered milk because, as a general, I don't use it a lot in baking.
That's
I really
fair.
don't. But yeah, I'm obsessed with like not even always necessarily baking. I'm obsessed with buying baking ingredients.
You
I'm
never
also
know what
obsessed
you're gonna
with
need.
baking. But like I'll see like a random extract, like raspberry extract. I'm like, ooh, I don't know what I can do with that one, but I'll need it. So I have a huge tower of baking supplies.
Alright, this next one's gonna be like god awful for us.
Oh God.
Describe your ideal partner. Because it's multiple
Here's
choice.
the thing about that. I'm polyamorous. And I like, if I believed that everything you needed to stay happy for the whole rest of your life could be achieved in one partner. I mean, yes, theoretically, like if I can combine all of my partners into one. But that just wouldn't work.
No.
Like, because there's lots of different things I like about all of my different partners. Like, I mean, I suppose I could describe different attributes that you all have, but like,
Combining that into one person still wouldn't be ideal.
not even ideal, impossible. Because, like, one, I'm a switch. So you can't both, I mean, unless I'm also dating a switch, you can't be dominant and submissive. But I really like having dominant partners, and I like having a submissive partner.
Yeah, I feel like there are people who absolutely make switching with each other work. There are. I just don't think I could do it. Like, one, I'm not a switch, so that's just... I've tried it. No. But
It's not for everybody.
it's not. But even then, I feel like the dynamic gets, like, cloudy, I guess. Like, if I was a switch
If you
too...
had two switches dating each other, I
Mhm.
imagine that would, like, you'd have to, like, decide ahead of time. Unless you're, like, literally both fighting for dominance the whole time, then you just kill each other and die.
We're not fighting for dominance, we're going to kill each other and die, so I mean, you know.
That's true. Yeah. Alright.
So the answer is, there isn't one. There may be an ideal group included. But, yeah.
Do you have a crush on anyone?
Yes. Can I leave it at yes?
I was gonna. I'm not. Maybe we should save that one till we're drunker. Let's save it.
Okay, yeah, I have one that I'm going to save till we're drunker too.
Sounds like a
That
plan.
was the first thing that came in that...
Right? As soon as someone said that, I was like, can I just answer yes? I need to be more drunk for this. Alright, we'll skip that one. Okay. So those were all anonymous. These are from... Actually, should we cut it here at 15
Yeah,
minutes?
we'll cut it here for the anonymous ones. around 15, and then we will answer some more. Oh. Also, I'm old.
You gonna make it?
Shush.